All right, and we are live. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about the delay. I was just scarfing my breakfast, getting some more coffee in me. Let's see. We've got some lawn care guys outside right now, so if you hear some background noise, that would be what's going on. Yes, coffee very good. I am a very non-functional human without it. Hopelessly addicted. Thankfully, it's a legal addiction. I don't know what I would do if coffee ever became illegal. Okay, so yesterday we were kind of messing around with the Hotshot build. While I was at work, I was able to check out some other content creators and their build ideas for this gear set, and it looks like I was very much on the right track as far as what most people did with this. Now, the thought that I had yesterday is that because this puts out so much damage, we can probably rein back on the overall weapon damage and start rolling some armor cores on there, which I did on the mask. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to farm for some gear pieces that drop with headshot damage as its secondary attribute, so I can reroll the core. But I would like to see 2 or maybe even 3 weapon cores on here, because it just outputs so much damage that it's unnecessary to have everything rolled red. And on top of that, the more armor cores you have, the more armor you get back on that with that talent. The one where it says you get 10% armor. So if you have 10% of 913k is going to be less than 10% of, say, 1.2 million. And yeah, Hotshot is definitely dropping everywhere. Everybody's in love with this gear set. I am also in love with it already. I really like it. That weapon handling makes it just so viable for so many different weapons. Very, very nice set. So I'm going to have to hop back into Countdown briefly to get the pieces that I want. I just need one of these 3 pieces to drop with headshot damage so I can reroll the armor core. Shouldn't be too hard to come across. And then it was also brought to my attention that the marksman rifles, the new talent that just dropped with TU17, I think it's called Determined. Don't quote me on that. Hold on just a second. Calibration library. My brain's still trying to catch up, chat. Let's see. Daniel says, I've been building Striker DPS and learning how to play again. Oh, okay. Striker is an amazing gear set. Amazing gear set. And let's see here. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. This one, Determined. That's it. So I already had a weapon, or I had an MMR drop with Determined on it, and I already added it to my library, but you'd want to do that first, so you can have this. You can roll this onto another MMR. But apparently, combining Determined with the Hotshot gear set is just absolutely broken. So what we're going to do is we're going to test that out. We're going to swap out the Mantis for my high-end Covert SRS. And we're going to roll off the Ranger talent for the new Determined talent. And there's the background noise I was talking about. Yes, the lawn people have decided that right now is the time for them to do lawn stuff. So forgive the noise. Ranger. Determined. Here we go. I'm not particularly sad to see Ranger go. It's an okay talent. In the absence of a better one, it does just fine. But from my understanding, this is basically game breaking. I guarantee you that they're going to nerf this at some point. So the idea is, So the way the talent works, after you kill an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So what makes this so valuable is after you get that initial headshot going, and you've got the in combination with the perfect headhunter or headhunter, you don't have to aim for the head anymore. You can just body everything. The trick is not to miss because that resets the process, but otherwise, you just lead with a headshot, and from that point forwards, everything is easy mode. So actually, I'm going to set this guy to veteran. I think one veteran headshot kill is enough to get the headhunter stacks high enough that the next shot will kill an elite, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get a. Now from this point forwards, I should be able to body shot pretty much everything. Yep, there you go. Check it out, chat. Bodies all day. And because of the gear set, every time you're body shotting someone, you're getting those other perks like the armor on kill. Oh my goodness, I can see why this is so broken. Not even aiming for the head anymore. This is a non-sniper's dream come true. So if you hate sniping and you're bad at sniping, this is the gear set you want to run with this setup right here. So take a look at it. Secondary weapon is whatever you want it to be. I'm probably going to switch off the FAMAS to something else. But yeah, this is basically the setup. I'm going to get some, like I said, I'm going to get some more armor cores on here. But you can choose your MMR. Doesn't have to be the SRS. It could be something else. Any of the bolt actions will do just fine. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat here. Daniel says, I got Relic, Dread Edict, and Prophet in one session of answering the call. Nice. Very nice. He said, it's weird, though, that it doesn't proc everything for headshot kills. Kind of confusing. I do love sniping, though. It's fun. I absolutely love sniping. I consider myself middling when it comes to my sniping skills, just based off of my, watching of other streamers. They are just like god tier with sniping. It's unreal. I feel like a potato most of the time when it comes to my sniping skills. Middling would be generous for you. Well, you know what? Everybody's got to start somewhere, and I gotta say, I didn't start off being middling. I definitely started off being absolute potato aim, but I was determined to get better at sniping because it looked like a lot of fun, and it didn't take too long. But especially like a gear set like this, man, you don't even have to be good at sniping, and you're just gonna one-shot everything. Just end up kiting and running. Yeah. Well, this might help you, Daniel. If you get this gear set, get a sniper rifle of your choice. Again, highly recommend the SRS. This feels really, really similar. If you put these mods on here, this feels really similar to the Mantis. So you want to put the VX1 scope on there. Get the large suppressor for the accuracy boost. Get the angled grip for the stability. And then put that reload speed on there, and you'll get very similar performance. All that's missing really is the reticle information that you get from the Mantis. This is Mantis's little brother. Daniel says, yeah, I have that set up already. Just got into one streamer who was talking all red striker DPS and wanted to try. Absolutely. Yes, the not watching buff definitely helps the Mantis. Yes, for sure. 100%. Huge damage boost. But in order to take advantage of the current broken mechanic, you'll want to have a high end that has determined rolled onto it. You could run the Relic. LOL. But let's face it, this is a pretty trash tier MMR. Don't exactly recommend this. SVD would probably be another good choice, but yeah. You can tell I'm a little biased when it comes to the covert SRS because I'm absolutely in love with the Mantis, which is why I've, expertised it up to 15. I would like to expertise it up to 20 at some point, but I just don't have the exotic materials for it. But, for those of you who just joined the chat, I was just going over the Hotshot build everybody's talking about. Yesterday I kind of filled with it and kind of slapped this together, and this is before I watched any, other YouTubers and what they'd come up with, and it looks like I was on the right track with everything. Very, very similar setups. A lot of tubers are actually running with concussion on the backpack, which essentially is vigilance, but there's more prerequisites to proc it. Let me show you, and I'll tell you why I run vigilance over concussion. So, concussion, where is you? I just go right by it. Am I losing my mind? Concussion. Oh, sorry. Again, coffee. Coffee's still kicking in. It would help if I was in the right category. Concussion, here we go. So, headshots increase total weapon damage by 10% for 1.5 seconds. But you get 5 seconds if you're using a marksman rifle, and then headshot kills increase total weapon damage by 15% for 10 seconds. So you add those two together, as long as you're landing headshots, you're getting 25% weapon damage that can't be deactivated by getting nicked by a bullet or damage or something like that, unlike vigilance, which its only prerequisite is don't take damage. So reason why I choose vigilance over concussion is because most of the time, if not all the time, I am behind cover. I find that I have a lot of uptime with vigilance with a sniper style build, simply because I am not out in the open taking a bunch of aggro as a general rule. And with concussion, you have to be landing headshots and getting headshot kills. If you're not a great shot to begin with, I would discourage using concussion. It's a great talent, but again, you got to be a good headshotter, or you're better off using something else. You could also use Composure. This is my other favorite one to run with marksman builds, simply because you are always in cover, at least you should be, with a marksman rifle build. And as long as you're in cover, this is active. Nothing can deactivate it. Let's see. Daniel says, Dread Edict is funny because it has similar stats to the Hotshot set. Yeah, absolutely. It does. Very similar shots. As a matter of fact, I believe the YouTuber Identity recently did a video on the Dread Hotshot combo, and he was in love with it. It is a match made in heaven. If you look at the description for Dread Edict, or the talent for Dread Edict, you shooting enemies, it builds damage. Headshots grant more stacks than body shots. Each stack gives you 2% weapon damage, or 5%. Each stack grants 2% weapon damage and 5% headshot damage. And then on reload, all your stacks go away, and then you get some bonus armor. So this definitely works hand in hand with the Hotshot build, which gives you, you're getting the headshots. First, the next headshots amplified by 20% damage. Second consecutive will give you 10% armor, and if you're at full armor, you get bonus armor. And then the third refills the magazine. It's basically the gear set version of the Dread Edict. So they definitely play to each other. However, for my own personal experimentation, I would prefer something other than the Dread Edict with this build. But that's just personal preference. I'd rather run something like Mantis or Nemesis if you just really wanted to go overkill with everything. Now, I haven't tested this in Legendary. At some point, I do intend to pony up with some randoms, probably in some Legendary activities, and see how it does. I will most likely switch off from something like the Mantis to something more like the Nemesis for just the really hard targets. Yeah, Daniel, they're kind of redundant stats, and this gear set is so strong you don't need any of the stuff that the Dread Edict is offering. Now, if you were running, if you had no survivability on a marksman rifle build and you needed that little bit of extra bonus armor and the extra niceties like having your clip automatically reloaded and all that stuff, then yeah, I would definitely say run the Dread Edict. But for the Hotshot build, it is plenty strong as it is. And again, as I'm discovering, it's so strong that I don't even need all these weapon cores. So the idea is we're going to roll weapon cores on these, and then we're going to see how it does damage-wise, and then back off of the weapon cores, or I'm sorry, the armor cores, if it looks like I've put on too much armor and not enough weapon damage. Because the idea is, this is my testing standard for builds like this. I should be able to one-shot a veteran to get the ball rolling. I should be able to. Now, I realize that with this setup right here, this probably, it's not going to one-shot him. It's going to two-shot a veteran. But once I get a single stack of Headhunter from a veteran, that is enough to start chaining elite kills, elite body shot kills. I suppose I should have set this to hard first. Okay. There we go. So you just need to kill one veteran. Obviously, if you kill one elite, that works too. But it's one veteran. Ideally, you should be able to start the ball rolling without having to shoot the target twice. You know, when you're entering an engagement, you don't want to be trying to track heads when they're all scattering like cockroaches and running for cover. So you want to get the jump on them, which means that you want to be able to get that headshot right off the rip. So what I can do here is I'm probably going to expertise this up, get some extra damage, so we can get close to one-shotting a veteran. Actually, I need to clear this Hotshot, or clear the Determined. Okay, so just in case you guys don't know, if you switch off of your weapon and switch back to it, Determined's going to be gone. So let's see how close we do get to killing this thing. It's really close. I think, honestly, if I expertise this up to 10 or 15, that should do the trick damage-wise. Also, this build is not min-maxed. We're missing some weapon damage here. Missing some headshot damage there. This one's maxed out. This one's missing some weapon damage. And this one's missing some weapon damage. So I have a feeling once this is min-maxed, it'll do just fine. Let me catch up on the chat here. Hold on just a second. Rich Rothschild says, the new gear set has been tested, but there is an issue. Apparently, on your last shot, when you have full stacks with the headshot, once you reach the max, for some reason, it doesn't give you it. Okay. I haven't seen that yet. That's interesting. Someone was saying it was bugged and that you need to swap stuff in and out as well. Interesting. Daniel asks, does it make sense to invest in crit damage then? With this build, I would say no. It would be invest in headshot damage because this talent plays off of headshot damage. It's guaranteed headshot. And this gear set plays to headshot damage. So I would say all headshot. As much headshot as you can cram into this build as humanly possible. Make it all headshot. Other builds? Absolutely. And I actually have... actually, let me save this real quick. A good example would be my Snipey Boy build. I know, it's not a particularly cerebral name for a sniper build. I actually kind of named it Snipey Boy just as a placeholder, and then I was just like, you know what, let's roll with it. So, like, my Snipey Boy build here is kind of the best of both worlds. This is a crit hit chance, crit hit damage sniper build that allows my rifle to be super melty, as well as still makes the Mantis extremely viable. That's right, Snipey Boy, registered trademark. And let me show you what I have rolled onto here. So I have a few rolls of weapon handling just to make the M1A CQB more stable. It does tend to get a little wild, especially when you're spamming it. And I wanted it to be a powerhouse. So I wanted to bring down its unruliness. So I've got weapon handling rolled on my mask. I've got weapon handling rolled on my chest. And I have weapon handling rolled on the backpack. You get another 15% just by using the sharpshooter specialization. And altogether, you get a very stable weapon. As far as mods on here goes, I've got the accuracy mod on there. And then reload speed, because it has a very inherently low reload speed, and it's actually kind of aggravating. So that extra 10% makes it feel pretty good. I would prefer to have that closer to 20%, but it is what it is. And then I've just got the critical hit chance on there and some extra rounds. And with this build, you can body enemies as well as headshot enemies and do incredibly well. So, and you can see that I have a composure rolled onto this particular build because, like I said before, I'm spending most of my time hiding. So, just a quick demonstration. It kills enemies pretty fast. Especially if you go aim for the head. Very fast. And then, of course, you've got the Mantis, which is the Mantis. Mantis is Mantis, and Mantis is Slappy. Oops, it would help if I could aim. And Mantis, you know, once you get the head hunter stacks going, it really don't matter. Mantis is going to kill everything with one shot. You can see I'm hitting 20 million. And that's with just a few rolls of headshot damage. The only headshot damage I have on here is from the Alraldi 2-piece and the specialization perk that gives you an extra 15% headshot damage. That's it. Everything else on here is critical hit chance and damage or weapon handling. You can see critical hit chance, critical hit damage, critical hit chance damage, chance damage, chance. Oh, and for once, the Fox's Prayer doesn't have a wasted brand set bonus. You get that 10% rifle damage on there too. Chance and damage, and chance and damage. So this is all crit chance, crit damage. You can see that we're sitting right at 60% critical hit chance. Everything else is in critical hit damage. Headshot damage is very low on the M1A CQB. And then that headshot damage is nice and high on the Mantis, obviously, because it's an MMR. It's got that built-in attribute for headshot damage. This build does absolutely incredibly well. And, of course, because I'm running Mantis, I'm running the decoy. Just chain them indefinitely. You get an additional damage boost with Mantis, plus all the enemies are distracted, which is half of surviving, is dividing the enemy's attention or dividing their attention away from you. If they ain't shooting at you, it doesn't really matter how much armor you have. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff in the chat. Let me catch up here. Rich says, once you've got all the stacks on the headshot, even on a veteran, in some cases, you can't take them down. Depends on what you're doing. Plus, I find there's an issue keeping that last stack. Interesting. He goes on to say you can overdo it like you have on the build that you're showing, plus the weapon you're using isn't really designed for it. Depends on what you're doing. Were you referring to the Hotshot build or my Snipey Boy registered trademark build that I'm currently holding in my hand? I suppose there would be a happy medium when it comes to critical chance, and there's and damage. There is diminishing returns going on with all of these attributes, with all of these stats. So there is a sweet spot. You know, for critical hit chance, I would argue that you want to hit the 60% for most builds. You want to get as close to 60 as you can, but yeah, you can overdo it on some other stuff. Let's see. There is an issue with a skill. When you throw your so-called dummy out to distract them, if you place it out, it acts differently, which is a different issue on this gear set. Oh, wonderful. You can overall, so diminishing returns is what you're going to have to work out. Yes. Decoy is what you meant. Yes. Oh, Daniel says the Hotshot build. Yeah. So, yeah, Hotshot build. There's going to be some diminishing returns with the headshots on there. For sure. You could put critical hit chance and damage on here. It's probably not going to affect it that much. I just rolled everything to headshot damage on there. We're sitting at some pretty crazy headshot damage numbers, just shy of 300%. Which definitely sounds impressive. I've always found, just through personal experimentation, that the sweet spot for headshot damage seems to be somewhere around 200%. Like somewhere around 150 to 200%. After that, it feels like you're not really getting much bang for your buck. But I just rolled everything to headshot on here. But this is all part of my testing process. I start with an extreme and then back off. So I started with an extreme as everything is rolled to weapon damage. No armor cores on here. Everything is rolled to headshot damage. No stability or any other things on here. And then as I'm out in the game world and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm watching my replays, I look at everything and decide if I need to roll back on some stuff, pull back on some things. And I would say the first thing I notice with this is that the all weapon cores on here is not necessary. So I'm going to be putting some more armor cores on this. And then I haven't really decided what my secondary weapon's going to be with this build. I would like to run something like an AR, if I could. In which case, something like critical hit chance and damage would come in handy. Obviously, unless you're just a really good shot and your AR happens to be an absolute laser. Which, the FAMAS is definitely a laser, but I'm not that great at headshotting with ARs. So I would like to have some critical hit chance and damage on there, for sure. What are we sitting at for? Yeah, it's pretty low, 25%, and that's with a couple of critical hit chance. Actually, I think I have 3 critical hit chance mods on the FAMAS. So we're definitely going to have to do some tinkering, and that's what we're going to be doing with today's stream. We're going to take it out into the game world and make some adjustments. Live. Let's see. Rich also says, also you have to prioritize your targets. Plus they move, which is unbelievable. I find using foam gun, which holds them into place. Yes, I am running with the foam gun. That is very handy, especially for headshot builds, just to make absolutely sure they don't go anywhere. In the absence of the Mantis, I like to run the turret because it has significantly more uptime. It also helps out damage-wise. It helps divide the enemy's attention. It doesn't draw as much aggro as the decoy will, but the decoy, especially when you're sitting at a tier zero skill tier, its duration is very low. You can see here, I have it expertised up to 5, which isn't much, but the duration is only 20 seconds versus the turret, which you get for 232 seconds. I don't know what that comes down to in minutes because I can't do that math in my head, but this is why I take the turret pretty much everywhere. I run it with almost every single build I have because it's just an outstanding companion and it serves multiple purposes. You know, ideally, I would like my turret to draw as much aggro as the decoy, but obviously I understand why that's not the case. Now, if I was running with Mantis, that would be a no-brainer. I would absolutely run with the decoy over the turret, simply because the decoy will draw their attention and draw their attention significantly more than the turret. And the Mantis plays off of their distraction, giving you extra damage bonus and all that. So that's my reasoning for running these two. Love the foam. Foam is great for defensive purposes too. Somebody's rushing you. There's not a lot of cover around, like a shotgunner or something. You don't have time to try and take him down. Then you just foam him and run. And even at a skill tier 0, you're still looking at an snare duration of almost 7 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty significant. Let's see. Rich also says you could put yellow to help with the decoy. Just an idea. Of course, yes. Like I said, there's an issue. You'll find that out when you try it, but you have to look very careful depending on what you're after and doing. Fair enough. So we got a bunch of new people in the chat. Let me just show you guys what we're going to do real quick, what we're working on. Make sure, I'm going to set this guy to veteran. We're working on a hotshot build. No, Daniel, not new people. We had about another 5 people join the chat here since I started yammering. So, oops, hold on. Veteran. Okay, so hotshot build. This is what we ended up with after yesterday's stream, with one slight little change. I plopped the covert SRS on here and slapped on determined talent. This talent is very broken in its current iteration. I'm pretty sure that the devs are going to nerf it soon enough, but we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. So the idea behind this is after you kill an enemy with a headshot, next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So you just get the ball rolling with one headshot kill, and then you can body everything. So, and I'll just show how that works. And here's a whole bunch of yellow bars. and it didn't work. Hold up. Is this the glitch you were talking about?
Agent requesting backup.
It suddenly doesn't want to do its thing. It's not working. You don't think they're going to nerf it, huh? Okay. I'm not sure why it's not working all of a sudden. So, Daniel says, take the gun and one piece of gear off and then back on again. Okay. This is stupid. Just trying to demonstrate to the new people that I know what I'm talking about. Now I look stupid. It's not procking again. You guys know of any other fixes? I could try switching loadouts and switching back. It was working just fine a second ago. I'm not going crazy. Not yet. I'm going to try switching everything. I mean, if it's gonna do this out in the game world, that's gonna be a no good time. Okay, we got it. You can see the procs at the bottom. It's active. And then it goes away. And it doesn't chain. Ah, for fuck's sake. Okay, well, chat, it's officially broken. The talent's not working. And maybe logging in, logging back out. Technical terminology, yes. It's foobar. Let's see. Rich says reason why won't no nerf because Gearset is designed like that. Plus they have advocated they want you to be more powerful. Okay. I guess time will tell. I haven't heard them say anything about the gear set or like we recognize that it's too powerful and we're going to be making adjustments in the future or anything. So, and I wouldn't say it's overpowered, but for like solo gameplay, especially like solo heroic gameplay, it's absolutely incredibly strong when it works. ... Depends on how you use the weapon. You can get around it, so moving your main weapon to get your stacks, the headshot, everything, but you must remember you lose them quickly. Excuse me, yes you do. You do lose them quickly. They say that though, but then they'll nerf it anyway. It's a tradition. Yeah, that's true. Or they'll just nerf it and not tell anybody, and one day everybody's just like, hey, why isn't this working? Okay, I'm going to try one more thing, chat. I'm going to log out, log back in. I want to see if I can get this to work. Otherwise, I'm not going to run this out in the open. That's silly. The whole point of this build is to use that combination. Or at least that's what I wanted to use it for today. It works just fine as a solid sniper build, but I want to use this broken combination of Determined and Hotshot.
Agent, Pilot Torres is cleared for transpo to Kenley College.
The ninja nerf in real time? Yeah.
Entering safe area.
They're just like, nope, no more fun for you. No more fun for anybody. You guys are having fun? We can't have that. This is a game. I don't know why I set it to elite, but we're just going to get an elite headshot here. It's not working. What in the absolute frickety frack? Am I... That's my G-rated swearing. What in the absolute frickety frack? So this talent is like hella broken. It was just working. It was definitely, yes, thank you, Daniel. Have my back here. I'm not losing my mind. I haven't changed anything on this build. It was working just fine when I first started using it, and now it's not working for some reason. Literally haven't changed a thing. Okay, well, I still want to run around with the Hotshot Gearset, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit here. I'm gonna slap on the Mantis and the Decoy because that is what I was originally rolling with, and I love me a Mantis. We're gonna slap a Decoy on here because, well, why not? Yeah, hashtag div2 reasons for sure. Rich says they want people to use certain gear sets in Legendary, and they want more people in that direction. That's the reason why. That's fair enough. Use your specialist weapon first, then use the other weapons to get your stacks or body shots. It works, but you have to remember to do it. True, and that honestly works very well with, what is it? This gear set. Tip of the spear. Start off the attack using your specialization weapon. In this case, it's going to be the sniper rifle. Get that extra damage bonus, and then go to town. If you're going to start your attack with a specialization weapon on a gear set that doesn't automatically generate that sort of ammo, then you're going to have to work for the ammo first before you can start using it. But yeah, that is one way to get things rolling. I like to create builds that have the, how do I word this? The minimal amount of prerequisites in order to get the ball rolling. So I don't want to have to do X, Y, and Z plus A, B, and C in order to get my weapon up to doing some nutty numbers. I'd rather it just be shoot and go. Shoot and go. And that's honestly, actually, now that you brought that up, for those of you who haven't seen it, my full stop build here. Oh, right, I'm in combat. Haha. Just kidding. Let's back up. Back away slowly. Full stop. And this works with any sniper rifle. It doesn't have to be the SVD. It doesn't have to be the Dread Edict. But it does work with Dread just fine. And with this gear set, you generate specialization ammo. If you guys are new to the game and you're unfamiliar with this gear set, it's that aggressive recon that makes this gear set shine. You deal additional damage by dealing damage with your signature weapon. And you automatically generate signature weapon ammo every 60 seconds. So the idea behind this build is you whip out the specialization weapon, you get that crispy headshot, and this TAC 50 does so much damage that you don't really have to worry about not getting a one-shot kill with it for most situations. And then once that's done, you switch to your weapon of choice. Oh, not that. There. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to do that again. There we go. Switch to your weapon of choice, and then just one-shot everything into oblivion. Works really well with the Dread Edict because of its fire rate. You can really... Whoops. Helps if I could change. You can really quickly eliminate targets if you're a good shot. Tip of the Spear is nasty, as long as you build it correctly. If you use Tip of the Spear along with the Nemesis, I believe this is the largest damage numbers you can get off of a sniper rifle, period. It's from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not so prideful that I won't admit when I'm wrong or put out correction videos when somebody brings some facts to light that disprove things that I have said. However, from my understanding, if you run a Tip of the Spear sniper build, everything rolled into headshot damage or close thereof. As you can see, this one is headshot damage and weapon handling everywhere. Then you use Nemesis. This does just absolute stupid numbers. Let's see if I can actually get those numbers to show. Set this to Elite. Set it to 15. And if you don't have the Nemesis, get it. It's amazing. It's easy to get. Just Google search on YouTube how to get the Nemesis. It's a quest. It's an easy quest. You don't have to play any of the missions on Heroic. You can play them all on Normal. Super easy mode. You're just basically collecting components, and then you get the blueprint off of a boss, and then you assemble it at the crafting station, and then that's it. And you have yourself a nemesis. Good idea. We'll do it in invulnerable. There we go. All right, so we'll get the ball rolling. Oh. Well. So the problem with that is that it's not counting it as a headshot kill. That's okay. We'll get some headshot kills here. We'll max out the headshot kills. I'm going to have to change this back to elite because it's not counting it as a headshot kill. There we go. I should be getting right around 60 million. I think that was a 58 million. If I land a crit, it should be right around 60. Let's see if we can actually get it to proc, though. There it is. You saw it. Little over 60 million. So if you want to do just dumb damage numbers, Nemesis and Tip of the Spear is the way to go. Nemesis takes too long, in my opinion, to get to its full potential. Even though it's a good weapon, it needs to be looked at, in my opinion. Well, it would certainly be nice if its charge time was less, for sure. Daniel says, I like the Nemesis as well, but the time to spin it up is too much for me in a lot of cases. Absolutely. And that's why I don't normally run the Nemesis. I mean, that's one of several reasons why I don't run the Nemesis. Because I am a advocate of pop shotting, especially when it comes to sniping, because most of the time you're going to build your set around all damage. Because you want to get those... It's one of those situations where it's like, if you're going to snipe, it needs to be a one-shot kill or GTFO. Like, seriously, why else would you run a sniper build? You don't want to have to hit him 2 or 3 times in the head in order to down a target, or you might as well just be running something else. So more times than not, you are running all red builds. You're very squishy, and the last thing you need is to be sitting out of cover and trying to get a bead on someone's head, doing one of these numbers, long periods of time. You're exposed. There's nothing protecting you. There's nothing distracting them. It's just a bad situation. However, I will say when you get into group play, and you get that enemy scaling, it makes Nemesis more valuable simply because you're going to struggle to get those headshots or put out enough damage to get one-shot headshots, and Nemesis kind of fixes that issue. All right, let's run around with this broken gear set. Enough talking about it. I need to switch this back to decoy. Do I want to run the FAMAS with preservation? I think I'll run the regular FAMAS. There we go. We'll need to aim for the head. Let me reset the control points. Let's see. Dodd Regenbu has me doing a lot of different builds. Yeah, Dodd is the best, honestly. I've learned so much from him. He was on here the other day, and I've gone to hard DPS, testing out some of what he's been saying. That's partly why I was using a Dread Edict. Absolutely. Dodd is the numbers guy. If you want the raw stats, you want the charts, you want the numbers, he's your guy for sure. Love his channel, love his content. And yes, he graced us with his presence on like my very first successful YouTube stream, and he stuck around for the whole thing. I was completely honored. I was fanboying a little bit. But he's a good guy. He gets a lot of flack from the community for some reason. I think they don't like I think some people just don't like facts and reason. And so he gets a lot of heat for it. Let's see. Well, yeah, and they don't understand his approach as well. his approach is definitely different from a lot of YouTubers. Okay, let's start some shenanigans here. Actually, nah, I can't get to them in time. We'll start off with this checkpoint. All right, so what we're looking for while we're out and about shooting things in the head is we're kind of assessing its damage output, what could be improved, and making adjustments accordingly. And I would really like this build to outperform my Snipey Boy TM registered trademark build. If I can get it to outperform that, then this will be the new replacement for it. Honestly, because of the gear set talent, you're getting that 10% armor and kill and all that stuff. It already kind of makes it more valuable than my Snipey Boy build, because there's really not a lot of well, there's really no survivability on that build. Let me catch up on the chat here. Sorry, there's some stuff I missed. Rich, I have all the exotics, but I'll be honest with you, I don't use them because they aren't as special as they once were, and this needs to be looked at as well. I agree, a lot of these exotics used to be extremely strong, and then they just nerfed them into the ground. They even did that with a few gear sets. I mean, like, look at what happened with Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights used to be incredibly strong and great for team play, and now it's essentially useless. That's not useless. Let me take that back. There's just not a build. You wouldn't run Aces over something else. Let's just put it like that. With the higher levels like the Legendary, you need to be rewarded much better than you are at the moment. I agree 100%. You absolutely do need to be compensated better. Because let's face it, Legendary is nasty hard. And you need to know what you're doing build-wise. And it also helps to have a competent team if you're running it in team activities. It's nay impossible running it in a team of randoms. I suppose it depends on the activity, but you know what I mean.
It's time.
Shh, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, so peaceful. Look at him taking a nap. Oh, Daniel, you mentioned coffee. Now I want coffee. I'm a hopeless coffee addict, guys. Not gonna lie. I run on coffee. Without it, I am a useless human. Well, more so than usual, I suppose. Here. Get distracted by that. Yeah, that should have been a headshot. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I go back and forth between God mode headshots and then potato mode. It also helps when they're holding still, but you know. Whoa. Nope. Nope.
Serious trauma.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Here, everybody look at my shiny decoy. Look at it. Shoot at it. Yeah. Yeah, you want to shoot at that, don't you? There you go. That's it. Be nice and distracted. Where is that going to land? Okay, I don't have to worry about it. Toss out another one. Everybody look at the decoy now. Come on, poke your head out. Ah, okay. Oh, they're little ducking and weaving and bobbing. Not great when they start to hit you from the side. Okay, I'm gonna have to reposition here. I'm taking too much aggro from the side. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I like to have all my enemies in front of me. Let's get a distraction out here. I'm sorry, but that was a headshot. Alright, are we done, guys? Are we done? I'm getting some of my health back with this gear set, but I gotta say, it's not impressive numbers. Because it is just 10%, and I don't have a lot of armor to begin with. So that's hence my decision to try out some more armor cores. Well, I got him, but I just lost my stacks, so now I gotta get him again. The other thing with this gear set, everybody's gotta keep in mind, is that it rewards consecutive headshots. And not total headshots. So you gotta be a good shot. Which I am not. Toss out another decoy. Are you gonna throw your grenade there, buddy? What the heck? Did you see that? He threw it from behind cover. What a jerk. That's not fair. Oh, come on. Just keep having people join the party here. Oh, good. We got some black tusk. That'll shake it up a little bit here. Now they'll be thoroughly distracted. Toss out another decoy. You can see that sniping, under normal circumstances, isn't the most efficient way to get things done. But it is a lot of fun. So we're kind of going for fun value here. It's a very satisfying way to play, but not the most efficient way to play.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
No, sir. Put that away. God damn. Yes, where's that gonna go? Decoy out. And you want to make sure you're tossing your decoy out where they can actually see it. Or it doesn't really work all that well. It's got to be line of sight. Ha! Gotcha. Ha! Gotcha. That should be everybody, I think.
BP captured. Good job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be using any of this loot. I'm not looking for anything out here, at least. Just collecting all my goodies here. We don't have to worry about those. I'm not too concerned. I'm going to get up on the roof, post up, and then we'll call in the allies here. Let me catch up on the chat here. He says, Rich says, I love the speedrunners. I love the way they can coordinate a team together. Yeah, they are impressive to watch. Speedrunners are a whole new level. The new gear set needs to be reported. Unfortunately, I can't do that at the moment. But like I said, there's an issue. Yes, there seems to be several issues going on. I only found out that it was broken in Legendary the other day. I normally run Legendary and Heroic on my own, and it's the norm for me, but I enjoy it. I do help now and again when I have the time. Absolutely. You know, doing the, shepherding activities, a lot of fun. I love to randomly pony up with Heroic and Legendary players in the Summit, out in the game world, and actually, that's how I did all of the Legendary Strongholds. I played with groups of randoms, and we beat the missions. I had very specific builds for those, though. And I have since vaulted my builds, but I'll dig them out at some point and kind of show off my Legendary builds in case any of you guys are interested in doing Legendaries yourself. I've got a great tank build. I have a great blinder support build, which I'm very proud of. I actually got that idea from GC Rock. And I'm sure he got that idea from somebody on his crew. But they were running a blinder build for one of their runs, and I was just like, that looks awesome. It looks like a lot of fun. And you actually do a surprising amount of damage with it overall, because you're running it with a Vile Mask, and so every time you blind somebody, you're doing damage, and you're blinding just over and over and over and over and over. It's a fun build. So I do want to do a build video on that too at some point. All right, let's kick this off.
Reinforcements incoming.
Pop goes the weasel. There's some more fire. I hear you boys like fire with fire. Like a side of fire. Well, wish granted. Damn. Damn. There we go. Here, have a decoy. Reinforcements are here. Are these guys just casually strolling around? They are. I don't know if you know this, but there are bad people outside. You need to purge the heretics.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
So much hereticking going on right now. Any Warhammer fans out there? What is this guy doing? Hey, I'm over here.
I'll track you down.
Yeah, you tell him. There you are. Come to Papa. Here, first look at this. And then don't go anywhere. And then take a shot to the dome. Would you stop dancing around like that? Makes it impossible to kill these guys. My goodness.
Civilians.
Okay, back to the chat. Rich says I left TSW because basically I thought while I give a change for a different group, just to let you know. Okay. Yeah, I mean TSW is huge. I'm part of a completely different clan. I mean, you guys are welcome to join, honestly. My clan is... Whoops, not there. I guess I never really talked about my clan. We're Delta Force. Very casual group. Somewhat active. Of course, I'm very active, or at least I'm as active as I can be. I'm one of the lieutenants. We're always looking for new members. If you guys are interested in joining, just look up Delta Force. Good group of guys. Let's see. Rich said, have several characters. The latest is 7267. My goodness. I mean, I just passed the 4,000 mark with mine. I'm sitting at 4109. And I've been playing pretty regularly.
In danger.
But I have the highest at 68,212? Holy crap. How? I have one question, sir. How? How on earth did you get that high? Like, I can understand like 8K or even like 10K. A lot of these streamers, like basically where their job is playing this game, I can see them hitting, 8,000, 10,000 relatively easily. But 68,000 shade level? I have so many questions. I mean, hats off to you, sir. That's some dedication. And yeah, shade level doesn't mean anything. Looking at somebody's shade level just says they either play a lot or they don't. It doesn't necessarily tell you their skill level. Like me, I'm Mr. Average. I'm sitting at 4,000 shade level. But the new players are probably looking at it, they're like, oh man, this guy is probably beast mode.
Civilians in
No,
distress.
not really. I've just played enough to get to 4,000. I mean, I guess I consider myself average. I'm sure some, from the outside looking in, some people might view me as being above average player, but honestly, I feel like that's almost my hook with this channel, is that I'm not beast mode. I'm not god tier player. I'm representative of your average division player. So a lot of my builds are, you know, built to my play style, and that is considered pretty average. So I think there's a draw there. You know, I have to compensate for my lack of aim. Probably my movement isn't as good as it could be. And so if a build works really well for me, it'll work well for other average players and work incredibly well in the hands of a more skilled player. At least that's the way I'm viewing it. I could be wrong, but I'm just Mr. Average over here. I'm collecting all the goodies here. I need all these components. I also need to finish my Wony run to get more shade level, so I can get some more stuff expertised, and it just gets so expensive. It gets really tedious, not gonna lie. Alright, we're gonna go take another checkpoint here since we're in the general area. Let's see. Rich. PS5 I play now. There are other players on PC that are much higher than I am, but my PC broke, so I purchased a PS5. Hand CC now. The farming and skyscraper. Oh, okay, so you did the floor 10 farm before they nerfed it. I gotta say, I've never done floor 10 farm. I've only seen other people do it. It looks like it's mind-numbingly tedious. Like, I couldn't do the General Anderson thing for very long, back when that was still a thing. I did it for maybe an hour tops, and I was just like, okay, I'd rather just play the game and get it the old-fashioned way. I guess I just don't have the patience for mind-numbing repetition like I used to. How are we doing on ammo? Yeah, we're fine. You know, I think I might want to switch this out for my CQB, wherever it is. There we go. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think this will do better. I do have a lot of fun with resource convoys and control point takeovers as far as like activities I like to do to further my shade level. But I'll just ignore these guys. Even that gets tedious, which is why I wish they would do more than just gear sets and cosmetics. While it is nice and it does kind of help fill some of the gaps, it's just not enough. We need maps. We need missions. We need more Countdown-esque things. I no-lifed Countdown for a long time because it was just so much fun. It was so new. It's so different from everything that's currently out for the Division. They really do need to do more like that. Which is, like, honestly why my play sessions aren't as long as they used to be. Because I just can't grind like I used to. It's not saying I'm getting sick of the game, it's just I can't do it anymore. The motivation is waning. I'm just being honest with you guys, you know, and I'm sure I'm not alone there. I'm sure plenty of other people are having the same thoughts. Let me toss out another one of these. Wow. I am so bad sometimes. And then other times I'm like, clip that, chat, clip it. This is not one of those times. No. There, I'm gonna pop your satchel, there. Ha, take that. And I'm getting flanked. Maybe? No? Okay, as long as I stay back there. Whoops. Oh, come on, man. There you go. Okay.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Talk about potato aim. I guess they're just fighting right on the other side of that alley. I'll just leave him be for now. There's Mr. Boss. Oh, of course it's a chonk. I mean, if you keep walking slow like that, I'm just going to work on your helmet there. There we go. Get to the little soft bits underneath.
Control point secured.
Alright, now let's find out what's going on out here.
I'm ready for you. Over there. You see that?
What is going on? What you doing?
Reloading.
There we go.
Someone here. Think you're cool.
Let's see. Boy, chat is just lit up today. I love it. I love the interaction from you guys. This is great. Where is this other guy? Hold on. I'm going to read the chat here in just a sec. Just want to clear. Where? Oh, there he is. Yes, hold nice and still for me. Thank you. Okay, chat. Let's see.
We're still standing. How many of
Daniel says most of the farming is tedious. Even countdown seems boring to me. Hence my 260. Yes, countdown is a necessary evil for me as well. Same with like the whole the Wony farming for the shade points. Oh my god, it's so tedious. I have to break it up into like 5 or 6 play sessions because I just can't sit and go through 4 hours of Wony since I've done it like at least a dozen or more times at this point. Let's see. That's what I like playing as well. I was hoping the Manhunt would actually have some new side missions. Me too, man. I mean, I completed that in one 2-hour stream. It didn't even take me the full 2 hours to get it done. Let's see. Rich says, I'm mainly a skill and hybrid player, but I'm starting to get more and more into sniping, and this has spurred me on with the new gear set. You need new areas. That's the issue. Absolutely. Yes, we do need new play spaces. 100%. The duck timing. Daniel says the duck timing is immaculate with some of those NPCs, right? It's like they can sense it's coming and then just ducked right at the last second. Rich says, I have suggested they make control points legendary and using the existing map and making an underground 3-tier system. Because of manpower and constraints, they won't do it in this game. It does seem that way. However, it also seems to be that they are consolidating resources. They shut down a bunch of their studios, and they're taking those employees and redistributing them to the active studios. And it's my understanding that they have more people now. They're almost topped off as far as the devs for the Division goes. So they're no longer shorthanded, or should I say they're less shorthanded than they've been. Now, I don't know if they're completely topped off and they're good to go and there's some other issue that's holding them back, or if they just still need some more people in order to make some of this stuff a reality. But I think that Ubisoft recognizes that they spread themselves too thin and they need to focus on their IPs that are still alive and well, like The Division. I mean, the fact that it's still going is a Christmas miracle, let's be honest. This game was slated for termination a year ago, if not longer. Basically, back when Wony came out, it was supposed to be kind of its last hurrah, and we're still here. I would love to see a legendary world map tier. That would be fun. I mean, that might be frustrating as hell, but that would give us something to work towards fine-tune our builds, play a little bit different. Let's see. Daniel says they're in maintenance mode for sure. I'm glad we still get new seasons. Yes, I mean, I'm thankful for the small stuff too. You know, like the apparel events and the other stuff they got on the season. All this stuff. The leagues. I enjoy the leagues. Global events. Lots of fun. Love the apparel events. I especially like what they did with this apparel event. It looks like we're going more tactical, which is, military tactical. Love it. That is my preferred aesthetic. If we could get that and then like some hunter stuff, I'd be a happy boy. I'd like the goggles that this guy has, to be honest. That would go well with a lot of my outfits. Let's see. Daniel says I did the manhunt like 10-ish times on answering the call. Yeah, I bet. A lot of people struggle, especially the newer players. They struggle with those manhunts because, let's face it, those NPCs are nastier than usual. They're not your normal heroic world tier guys. They feel more like somewhere between heroic and legendary. Daniel says, or control point, I got Dread Edict and BTSU with 2 NPCs within about 3 seconds. Nice. You've got some good RNG going right now. Rich says, what are you gonna what are you gonna understand it into one of a kind? There's no other game out there. And it has something. Just something that we can associate with, possibly. That's what it is. I don't know. I mean, there is some nostalgia still going for the Division 1. That is for sure. That is where it all started for me. I was a day 1 Division 1 player. And there's something about this game. I keep coming back to it. There's no other game like it. They've got a real gem here. They need to capitalize on it. Like, do you guys not like money? Right? Like, I thought that was the whole point of your business. Make the money, right? Well, you know what we want? You make us some good content, make us some new maps, and I will give you a blank check and tell you to write whatever you think is fair on here, and I will pay it. And I think there's a lot of players that would agree with that. Like, if they announced a new new city for us to go to, like a New York sort of a thing, like, hey, next season you're going to Chicago or something, a whole new map to explore, man, I would just be, well, I'd be over the moon. I would lose fluids, if you catch my drift. Not to get too graphic with you guys, but I would lose fluids. Stop it. Thank you. Oh, is there somebody right below me? Oh, I hear crazy explodey guys. I think it's crazy explodey guys. Here. Be distracted. I would say this M1 works better with this gear set than the FAMAS was, for sure. I feel like a rifle is a better choice. Not only because you can spam it, but you can also use it for precise hits as well. I can headshot with this just as easily as I can any sniper rifle. Get some crispy heads going here. There's somebody sneaking up on me. I can hear their little footsteps. Now, the Hotshot Gearset does not benefit rifles, just marksman rifles. So that's not okay. Let me rephrase that. The talent only benefits marksman rifles. The additional headshot damage and stuff you get with the gear set obviously is still valuable. Okay. We won. We won ugly, but we won. Do we have rogues? What's going on? Oh, no. Got a straggler. There we go. Alright, catching up on the chat again.
Each one we kill makes us a little safer.
Let's see, where did I leave off?
Supply room access unlocked.
Daniel says, my favorite is the really high level folks who are just running stuff, and you get to go along with it. That's the funnest, but also like helping folks out. Yes, absolutely. I do. I love shepherding. Love helping out the community when I can. Answering those calls. That's a lot of fun. Rich says, I'm in the process of trying to make a decent build using Ninja Backpack, which is given to us a few nice ideas. Yes. My thoughts on the Ninja Bike. Now, I don't have it yet. I'll show you why. I am currently just sitting at 15 on the season track. I haven't had enough time to just devote to grinding levels and stuff on this game yet. So we're going to try and get a decent chunk of that done today, but I don't think I'm going to be unlocking anything fun. I do want to try the Sacrum Imperium, I believe is what it's called. The exotic. It's way down here. It's... I think it starts at 85, 80, somewhere around there. 85, there it is. I want to try it. I have a feeling I'm going to hate it. It's just going to sit in my vault and collect dust. But I want to at least try it. And then Ninja Bike's level 90. So I got a long ways to go before I get to the good stuff. My overall thoughts on the Ninja Bike is that it's going to be fun but not meta, based off of what I've seen. But again, I like to tinker with stuff myself and not just take everyone's word for it because, you know, people can be wrong. Even people who do their homework. People who crunch numbers, they can still be wrong about stuff sometimes. And I base a lot of my builds on feel and not numbers. Numbers will definitely tell you what's going on with your build as far as like increasing or decreasing damage, but it doesn't give you the full story. It's kind of like weighing yourself every day. Your weight could go up and down. You could have a weight number that sounds bad, but if you look good in the mirror, then who cares? I don't know if that's the best analogy, but it's kind of like, oh, but the damage numbers are low. Yeah, but this is a really fun build to run, or it feels really good. Like, then who cares if your numbers are low, right? Max DPS is not equal to max fun. 100%, Daniel, 100%. Honestly, that should be my channel motto. Should be max DPS is not equal to max fun. Max DPS is fun in a lot of cases, but... Oh, wait, what am I doing? But DPS and meta builds and stuff, it's not everything. I think people get really focused on what's meta, and they completely miss out on the fun value of everything else in this game. And honestly, most of the stuff in this game is pretty well balanced. Most. Not all of it, obviously. But, I mean, I can think of a few games that are wildly out of balance. And I don't think this game is one of them. You can pretty much do well with anything. I can't say that you can do great with everything, but you can have a pretty slapped-together build and still do well in most activities. Obviously, once you get into the higher difficulty level stuff, you're going to have to be a little bit more picky and choosy with what you run. But, let's see. I missed something. Oh, Daniel says, I log into D1 every once in a while. I was private then, public beta, great game. D2 takes a lot more work. It does. And there are things that they change from D1 to D2 that I really like, and of course, things that they change that I miss. But I will never forget running around in the snow, exploring the map, getting into trouble. Lots of fond memories. Even some of the more triggering memories of running around in the DZ. Daniel says, right now what you're showing is why Dodd, Regimbu says not to bother with most MMRs. The rifles are actually better for DPS. Yes, I agree with that 100%. 100%. Sadly. Rich says, they are introducing a new scope for the exotic weapons. They've just introduced, supposed to be coming out with a new update. Interesting. Rich also says, exactly, people can be wrong, including myself, but it's what suits you, and you go with it if you like to go with it, if it performs the function. Yeah, I mean, and everybody has their own distinct playstyle and their distinct preferences. So you can't just say, like, this is the best. If you're not running this, then you're stupid. And unfortunately, there are those content creators that will essentially say something along those lines. They're usually not quite so blunt about it, but They certainly allude to the whole like, my word is law. I have the best. If you're not running this, then what's wrong with you? And then, of course, you get the clickbaiters that are just like, one hit, God tier, never die, yada, yada. It's like, no, I don't think there's a single build that I can say honestly fits any of those. That's one thing you will get from my channel. Chat, let me tell you right now, I will never clickbait you. I will never intentionally give you false information. And if someone corrects me, if I am wrong, I will put up a retraction. I am not so prideful that I will just stick to my guns and double down on incorrect information. And there's always new information coming to me, and I'm always learning stuff from this community. Like I am not a galaxy brain content creator that just can come up with all these wild and intricate and fantastic builds all on my own. I collect ideas from a variety of people, and then I recreate it to my liking, and then I test it, and then I fine tune it, and then I end up with a build that I share with the community. That's generally my my build process. I get inspired by other creators. And there's a lot of really talented people on here. It's honestly very intimidating. And I'm never going to claim that I'm the best content creator on YouTube. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here. Rich says, you go with what suits you. Oh, I'm sorry. I already read that. Numbers are one thing. Going out in the world is another. Your weapons and gear set perform differently in the open world when testing. Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of people don't realize that while the shooting range is a good gauge for how a weapon is doing, it's not until you're actually out in the world and you're dealing with moving targets, dynamic targets that are ducking and weaving and flanking and working together and all this other stuff that you really know if a build is going to work well or not for you. So I would say that the shooting range is kind of like, again, back to the whole weight scale thing. It tells you, it gives you part of the picture, but it does not give you the whole picture. Hey, Mark. Welcome, welcome. Daniel says, oh, that's a shame. There just aren't enough clickbait D2 videos on YouTube. Yeah, no kidding. I don't usually want to like name names, but the first name that comes to mind that you probably should avoid, yes, I'm going there, chat, I'm going there, is Running Butcher. I know he's kind of a meme amongst the Division community, but there's a reason why. He is so guilty of the most ridiculous clickbait videos, highly edited videos that hide certain things about his builds. He'll even go so far as to hide which difficulty he's on when he's recording. He'll trim the video so you can't see it, or he'll move it, or he'll hide it just entirely somehow. And he's definitely making builds just for making builds' sake. Yeah, I would avoid Running Butcher. And honestly, off the top of my head, that's the only one that I've come across that's like truly egregious about clickbait. The rest of them are, neither here nor there. And even some of my favorite content creators have kind of been clickbaity. But again, it's the nature of the beast. It's the YouTube thing. Like, they've got a quota to meet. They need a certain amount of click-throughs. They need a certain amount of engagement. Or, they don't get the monies. Slaves to the algorithm. Which I hope I never end up finding myself in that situation. I don't want this to feel like a job. I want this to be fun. And if I happen to make money off of it, then so be it. But that's not my primary goal. Honestly, my whole thing with this content creation YouTube thing was just, I'm playing games. Why not just record myself doing the thing I'm going to be doing anyways? It's not like I'm playing Division to stream. I'm simply streaming my playing of the Division, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's not a very eloquent way of wording it, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Daniel says, the problem with a lot of build videos is that there are so many assumptions on the gear people have, the level they're at, mostly any talk, damage, and not fun, which is a shame. Yes, they're all about the numbers. I see that on the thumbnails repeatedly. It's like, 28 million
Hostile
DPS.
nearby.
It's like, okay, while that is true, kind of need context. 28 million DPS after what? How many damage procs have to be active? What do you have to do? What do you have to run? You know, is there a specific playstyle you're stuck with in order to get those damage numbers? Is this even fun? Is this even a fun way to get that? Is it wildly convoluted? I'm a huge advocate of just streamlined stuff. Like, don't make me do X, Y, and Z in order to get some sort of crazy number. Like, I just want to point and shoot. Oh, here comes a group of unsuspecting people. Hopefully they'll get a little closer together. I'm going to glue them in place and then pop Mr. Splody Pants here. Yeah, it's a good spot. Hey, look at that. I screwed up. What do you know? Ooh, okay. Yep. I 100% deserve that. We made a tactical error. Yes, it's going to leave a mark. And actually, what I want to do, that reminds me, I do want to go quickly into Countdown. I know it's not everybody's favorite. I'm going to do one run with Hotshot. Not with the Hotshot Gearset, but I'm going to do one run to get Hotshot. I want to roll some more armor on, but I need drops that have headshot damage on them. So bear with me, chat. I know we're gonna go through this together. We're gonna go through this mind-numbing tedium together, just real quick. I'm gonna slap on my Fairview Wraith build. I'm very proud of this build. This is easy mode for Countdown. In case any of you are unfamiliar with this build, I do have a build video out on it on my channel if you want to check it out. I don't think it gets any easier when it comes to farming Countdown. You can just mindlessly blunt your weapons at the enemy and not worry about too much, including the hunters. And this should already be set to Hotshot because I don't think I've changed it since the last time.
Invite to another agent's group. Receive. You have joined a group.
Back to the chat here while this is loading up. Actually, let me mute myself. There we go. Now I'm not bothering other people with my yammering. Let's see. I don't fault folks. Daniel says, I don't fault folks for trying to make money. The clickbait titles are often a function of the algorithm and not a desire to deceive, in my opinion. Yes, 100%. You are 100% correct, Daniel. It's the nature of the beast. It's unfortunate that there's a lot of algorithm chasing that has to happen in order for streamers and content creators to be like truly successful. It is unfortunate that that's how it is, though. Rich says, I get mine from all sources, whether it be YouTube or other sources, but you do have to realize I decide what suits me and what works. Oh, of course. Yeah, you have to decide for yourself. Daniel says, right, but they don't actually have optimized DPS to Dodd Regenbu's points on his videos. They say DPS, but they have... They say DPS, but they have DPS on the ground. Darth Vader, no. Yes, for sure. No! Countdown. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I don't run with music on in this game anymore. I actually turned it off a few months back because it's actually gotten to the point where if I have to listen to this bloody Countdown song again, I'm going to kill myself. Wait, what's happening? There's no... The hunter's about to spawn in. There's some weird latency thing happening, so I'm going to go ahead and get over here. Should be spawning right there, or right there. I think he's going to spawn right there. Let's give this a second. I'll bail on this run if it doesn't catch up. There it is. It does this every once in a while. It's very odd when it does. No, sir. Yeah, I could take an axe to the face. Be just fine. He does. Easy, fella. Yeah, look, if you want all the glory, you can have it. I'm just here to farm. I'm not aiming for high numbers here.
System curtailed.
Just want the loot. Anybody got salty? Alright, get salty. Deal with this guy over here.
System reactivated.
I got you, Scotty. I'm gonna revive you without a worry. This hunter can shoot me all he wants.
Detected.
There you go, bud.
Hostile defender drone. Detected.
Oh, yes. I love it when they steal other people's skills. Just a public service announcement for Countdown. Please don't run skills that can kill us. Defensive skills are fine, like the defender drone or healer or whatever. For the love of God, don't run the drone, the assault drone, or the turret. Because that's how you get a squad wipe. Alright, shade crate, protect VIP, and secure the area. So ideally, I'd like to do this one and this one, but I just try to stay with the pack. I'll do VIP if they want to do VIP. Ooh, smoke bombs like the hunter. I like that idea, Mark. That would be nice.
Shade tech detected.
It would make pulse more valuable in PvP if you can't see what you're shooting at. It'd probably break the game, though, let's face it.
Rogue assault turret detected.
Ooh, chest.
Hostile assault turret.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Okay, not what I'm looking for. Scrap all that.
Hostile striker drone detected.
Does anybody else hate fighting Rikers? There's just something about them. They're like one of my least favorite enemy types to fight.
Hostile snapper turret detected.
Them and Black Tusk, of course. But that's just because Black Tusk is really organized. But the Rikers, there's just something about them.
Turret detected.
There we go.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
I got you covered. Here's your ticket, fucker.
Where are the bad people? There they are. Ha! Bruh.
Area secure.
Alright, well, I don't need a backpack, but I'll keep this one just in case one day they change something, make it more interesting, I suppose. Take that. Daniel says you could have smoke bombs go off when you leave a group. That would be cool. Just a little visual thing. Alright, where are we all headed? I have a feeling we're all going to go to VIP. I don't think these guys are going to go all the way over here, so... Let's see if I'm right. I'll just follow the group here. Lead the way, boys. Yeah, maybe they are cutting across. Alright. It's rare. Oh, we got somebody who's 12 or just shy of 13,000 shade level. Subgroup 2. That would be my subgroup.
Protect the engineer.
Oh, the tedium of Countdown. I'm usually listening to podcasts or rocking out to playlists or something while I'm doing this. Same for like the Woney runs. It's about the only thing that'll make it tolerable. Skill damage and armor regen. I have no use for those. We got swarmed.
Hey, where did they go?
go anywhere. Here, have a fire grenade. Oh, come on out of there. There you go. Oh, there's somebody else in here. There we go. Slap, yep. Hey, why waste a bullet? Ooh, chest. Nope, don't need any of that stuff, that's for sure. Hello. Thought you were a player for a second. Oh, let's see. No. Wonder if a hybrid hotshot build is a viable option, or if that would just be silly. I don't know what exactly you would run with it.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
Knuckle duster. Hey, come on down here. Don't be shy. Drop something good.
Agent.
There's
you
a
should be able
headshot
to
damage.
access the
Okay.
lab.
I wanted the holster with headshot damage. Now I just need gloves or knees with headshot. We got one piece. Ooh, piece of candy. Absolutely. Ooh, piece of candy. They seem to want people to build status effect because HG came out with that at the same time. Yes, it does seem that way. Definitely seems that way. And a status effect build might work quite well with Sacrum Imperium. Again, I need to get my hands on it. I'm so behind on everything. We've got all these streamers and YouTubers that already have unlocked all 100 tiers, and they're just cranking out the builds with the new Ninja Bike and stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't even have it yet.
You're in.
But
Now,
I'm not
just need
a
to
full-time
find and destroy
YouTuber.
those fuel valves.
This isn't my job, so I don't have the kind of time that they have to devote to playing games. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd want to be a full-time YouTuber. That would depend on a lot of things. And I can't see anything. Okay, here. Don't go anywhere. Trying to pop his little dealy bobs on the front of the shield here. Yeah, there we go.
Nice work on the valve. Now, I need you to close the reactor's core.
Right there. Nope, no headshot damage. Yay! We got the pieces we need.
Good.
We'll just finish this up. If we come across one that has a little higher rolls on it or something, we'll keep it, but we got what we came for. So thank God I don't have to do this again.
System incoming. High risk hostile. System reactivated.
Let's see. Daniel said, I'm sure some people paid to level up, which is fine. No shit on that. Yes. I mean, they did give people the option. I would rather not
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes.
shell out money for something I can earn on my own. Plus, I mean, the only reason why anybody is in a hurry is because of the people that finish things super fast. Then you get this like whole FOMO thing going. It's this vicious cycle. You get that one guy that's already ahead of the group, posting a bunch of videos. All the other tubers need to get in on it, so then they do it. And then the community sees them doing it, and they're like, oh shit, I need to grind my nuts off, get to their level so I can have the same stuff, so I can make my builds. And then everybody misses the whole discovery aspect of new content. It's just like, take your time, savor it, enjoy it. Don't be in a hurry to get to the end of it all. I know I talk about discovery a lot, but that's because I'm very passionate about not rushing through content. Which is why I'm only, 20 hours into Hogwarts. And it took me like a week and a half to get through the Witch Queen campaign on Destiny. Because I want to enjoy it. I want to take it all in. And I tend to avoid videos on new content for the most part, just because I want to be surprised and I want to try and figure things out for myself. And then once I figure things out, or I think I have a pretty good grasp on it, that's when I start watching videos on it, so that I can either confirm what I believe or reassess what I've discovered. If that makes any sense. And of course, I will refer to the YouTubes if I get stumped or stuck on something and I just can't figure it out for myself and I'm beating my head on the wall. Obviously I don't want to get frustrated with my games. The whole point of games is that they're supposed to be fun. It's escapism. We're here because the real world is cruel and unkind and sucky at times, not always. Of course, it kind of depends on where you're at in your life. And so this is our escape. Instead of doing drugs, we're playing video games. I mean, I suppose some people do both, but you know what I mean. I'd like to think this is a pretty healthy vice compared to some others out there. And so it needs to be fun. It shouldn't feel like a job. Daniel says, agreed. Point is that I don't think you should be holding yourself to that standard. Hashtag unasked for opinions. No, I agree, man. I agree. Rich says, I've put all the directors on Heroic Legendary. Then in that way I get enough shade and XP. I worked hard for mine many hours apart from my previous character, which was on PC. Oh, we missed a hunter? Yes, we did.
System restored.
Oh, hello. That works out well. Oh, we didn't miss hunters. We're extracting. That shows how much I'm paying attention. Drop anything good? Nope. Got somebody with a sniper turret, so I can expect Hunter to gain control of that any second now. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Stop with the drone. Thank you.
System malfunctioning.
Guy keeps pushing me right out of cover. Stop that. Don't necessarily need cover, but I'd rather not take more damage than is necessary, you know what I mean? Alright, let's light their world on fire. There we go. Good distraction.
Shoot out the flare when you're ready for Torres to bring you home.
Did we miss somebody back here? Yes, we did. Hello, Hunter.
System restored.
That. Here comes the reinforcements. And glue them in place. trying to get out of the way of these guys. There, you guys handle this. I'm gonna go collect some loot. I have confidence in your abilities. Oh, I'll take that. We'll compare the gear pieces we got at the end and see which one's got the highest rolled
Helo
stats on it.
inbound to your location. Hold tight.
Weapon damage. Weapon handling. Whoop. Got company. Let me get out of the way here. Nice.
Ready for extraction.
I'm not a hunter. I kind of look like one, I guess, but stop shooting me. Grab this, and we're out of here. All right, let's see. What do we got
Keep
here for
working
chat?
together like that.
734
And we-
million damage. Not bad. Not bad. My record on this is 1 billion. I got 1 billion damage. That was with, I think it was the that one modifier that increases close range damage. Let me catch up on the chat. Rich says, oh, I'm sorry, I already read that one. Drop anything good? Nope. Me, oh, I don't have that piece yet. I know. I'm sure there's a lot of pieces I'm just scrapping that would be actual godsends to some other players for sure. Rich says, who the hell is running a sniper turret on Countdown? Honestly, he's probably just grinding for expertise. That'd be my guess. Unless he just thinks he's got a really good sniper build going for him. I understand the reasoning, but it's a bit far-fetched. You can kill them just as quick in Countdown, but everyone's to their own. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we got our pieces. Let's...
Everything is priced.
Alright, so I wanted to roll this to... So we got ourselves a 10.2 and 8.5, a 12 and a 7. I really just want the one that has the highest headshot damage. So we're going to go with this one because we're re-rolling the core attribute. So we shall scrap this one and this one. And then for the gloves, don't need that. Guess I didn't get any gloves. Ah, I got the knees. That's what it was. Don't need Hasbro. Headshot at 7.7 or 7.7. Decisions. We'll equip those. So I wanted to try it with 3 rolls on there. We'll see how this does. Dr. Evil. 1 billion damage. Da, 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 da. 1 billion. And then it was the knee pads. So more armor means more armor on kill with this setup.
You need help with something?
So we're sitting at 1.3 million versus the 900,000 that we had before. I'm just curious how well this will perform. I would be running this. Now, if this talent will ever work correctly, I'd be running it with this setup. But until they fix that, it's going to be Mantis all day. Beautiful. So the fact that I can kill a veteran with one shot without having to have anything procced is exactly what we want for this build. So, you know, we approach the battlefield, we find our veteran out in the open, we take a shot, and then we're good to go from that point on. Because now we've got enough stupid damage that we can take out pretty much anything. Mr. Elite. One-shot Mr. Elite. Let's see if it'll one-shot unnamed. It should. Or at least it'll come close, I think. Yep. That's enough damage. And that's how we experiment, too. So, look, and that's with 3 armor cores on there. And we're taking advantage of the headache talent, where it ramps up the headshot damage 20%. It does have to be consecutive. So if you start missing, it's going to reset the process. You're going to want to keep an eye on that little skull icon down below. It'll tell you kind of where you are as far as filling up that gauge. But this is perfect. This is what we wanted. And now we've got a bunch more armor, so we've added a bunch more survivability to it, and it's going to play right into the extra 10% armor, or if at full armor, give bonus armor max of 50% of current armor value. So the more we can get on here, the better. This is probably going to be the sweet spot. Let me see if I can actually see what kind of damage numbers we're getting. Because I know elites, I believe their health pool is 10 million. Curious if I can kill an elite right off the rip. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so 6.7 million regular headshot. Let's reset the cycle here. Let me see if I can get a critical headshot to proc here. All right, 7.7 million. Yes. So for sure, we're going to want to aim for the veterans to start off with. And again, you just need one stack. Need one stack. That'll proc the perfect headhunter. That'll amplify the damage. And then every successive stack will just pile on the damage. This will start to ramp up. This will start to ramp up. And you'll be doing a bunch of dumb damage. Let me see what the max damage is now. Let's get all the procs going. All right, so we're sitting at max. Let's see if we can read that. So 19 million, 20 million. Couldn't read that one fast enough. There we go. Just a little over 20 million. And those are similar damage numbers to what I get with Snipey Boy. TM. My other favorite Mantis build. I've been running this build forever. So the fact that I'm reaching that already with this build, on top of the other benefits of this build with the additional armor. So you got additional survivability. Plus I've got 3 armor cores on this versus the 0 armor cores that I have on the other one. This build is already outperforming my best sniper build. So, and I'm going to switch this out for my CQB because it's just a better option as a backup for this build. Let me save it in its current iteration. And we can switch off this turret to decoy again. I'm kind of curious how the CQB does here. We'll test the body shots and then we'll test headshots. Okay, so I mean, it's what I kind of expected. Body shots aren't going to be the best. But now what we can do is we can fine tune the amount of headshot damage that this build has. We can start bringing down the headshot damage. So right now, stats-wise, we're sitting at 15% critical hit chance, a 57% critical hit damage for the sniper, and 15 and 74 for the CQB. Let's see if we can't bump that up by putting a few critical hit chance mods on here. And then we'll retest and kind of see where it's sitting. Because I do want to bring this up for my secondary weapon. If the headshots are fine with the marksman rifle, then we can focus on other stuff. So let's see. Sure. So we'll start off by replacing the mods, and then we'll roll off headshot damage on the other gear pieces if necessary. But I think this is probably going to work pretty well if we get our crit chance up a little bit more. Critical hit chance. That's fine. So now stat-wise, we're sitting at 33% critical hit chance, another 33% critical hit chance. Let's retest headshots, make sure that we're still hitting the minimum requirements here. I'm going to set this to veteran. Bring it in a little closer. Not that range matters. Want to make sure I can still one-shot a veteran, and I can't. So see, this is where we go back to the drawing board. But in this instance, this isn't min-maxed. So we've got some, like right here, we've got some weapon damage we can fill in. And we've got some more headshot damage we can fill in on all these gear pieces. So because we're so close, I mean, like within a sliver, I guarantee you if we min-max this, we'll be hitting the minimum requirement. But I would say that this is probably the bottom of the minimum right here. So I wouldn't want to go any lower. Let me catch up on the chat here. Daniel says, I wish that there was a feature in D2 to say that you're in Shepherd mode and a one button press to drop all the gear you picked up. That would be nice. Maybe having pickup as favorite to keep a thing you want to keep. Yes, that would be nice. That'd be a nice feature. Rich says, you need that talent on the M1A that will hit like a truck. Trust me from my experience. Okay, Rich. Which talent are you talking about? Are you talking about the new talent? Or are we talking about something else? Right now I've got Boomerang on here, which is a hit or miss talent, truthfully. And it is based around critical hits. So having a higher crit hit chance will definitely help this. Ideally, we'd be sitting at 60 to get the most out of it. But unfortunately, I can't re-roll the talent on this one. And I've invested a lot of expertise into it. So I'm going to try and make it work, but I can go grab a different M1A. I think I've got another one in my vault. It's just going to be doing, 15% less weapon damage, but I can roll the talent to something else. But yeah, Rich, if you could clarify which talent you're talking about. Let's see. Do you know what he's talking about, Daniel? Need a talent on the M1A that will hit. You need that talent. I mean, if you're referring to the new talent, I would agree with that for sure. Since it counts as a headshot no matter where you shoot him. But the way Headache works, it only benefits marksman rifles. From my understanding, it wouldn't particularly help the rifle. So unless you're... Okay, so you are talking about the new talent. Okay. So I don't actually have a rifle with that new talent on it yet that I've added to my library. So I guess that'll be the next thing I'm going to farm for. And then let me go into my... Oh, I need to go to my weapon mule. First off, let me make sure I've saved all the changes I've made. I like these changes. I just need to min-max some of these pieces. Let me just min-max one of the weapon damage attributes just so we're sitting where we need to be. And then we can optimize the rest of it later. I think, let's see. Yeah, we'll optimize the gloves. So I want to be able to one-shot the veteran. That is the bare minimum. That is my threshold. Oh, look at that sliver. Okay, we need a little bit more weapon damage. Daniel, he said scroll down? Scroll down to... Did you see something that I missed?
Hey, you looking for something special?
That one's armor roll. Armor roll. Wait, am I missing something? Weapons. Armor. 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 Wait, are we all maxed out on weapon damage? We are. Okay. So that means we need to bump up some headshot damage. Let's max roll the mask. More countdown? Blech. Not if we can avoid it. Okay, let's see if this does the trick.
Nice to see.
We are a hair's breadth away from hitting our minimum. So let's see if that gets us what we need. Okay. Now we're going to retest it because sometimes the damage numbers can be a little wonky. If I get a one-shot kill every time, then we're good. We'll do a couple more just to be absolutely sure. I think we're good, chat. I think we're good. Alright, so this is a good setup. We're hitting the minimum requirements. Now I need to figure out how to get a rifle to drop with the new talent on it. I wonder if there's one for sale somewhere. Like if a vendor's selling it. But first I need to go grab another CQB from my weapons mule. So if you guys haven't seen me do this before, I have 4 characters. This is my primary characters, the one where I do all the activities on. I have all my loadouts on this character. And then I have one character that I use their on-person stash, their 150 slots, to carry gear pieces. And then I have a character for the sole purpose of carrying weapons. So I have another 150 slots for weapons. And then I have my watch mule. I will occasionally rinse and repeat. Once I've used up all of the watch points of this character, I'll just delete it, create another one, and then run through Roni again. So, and for those of you who didn't know, when you have 4 characters or 2 or 3, as you gain shade levels with whichever character is your main character, all characters gain shade levels. So you're essentially gaining shade level, or shade points, should I say, 4 times as fast if you have multiple characters. Even if you do nothing with these characters and you've just gotten them to the point where they have their watch that you can invest shade points into, it is highly recommended if you want to speed up the process that you have multiple characters. It doesn't take long to set up. You're looking at a 4-hour grind through Warlords of New York to get to the point where you can unlock your watch. And then from that point, you can just leave your character if you don't feel like doing it over and over again. But this is how I have it set up. Let's see. Rich says, if you use the specialist talent first,
Agent,
as long as you have the new talent, any body shot counts as headshot afterwards, as long as you have enough stacks. Yes, Rich, I agree. My thing with that is that it requires you to have that ammo to begin with. And so as far as like how I construct my characters, if it's not easy to obtain or doesn't require a great deal of setup, I like its base stats to meet certain minimum requirements, if that makes any sense. So like when I have a character with Memento, I like to factor in the fact that I'm going to have to pick up 30 stacks or 30 trophies before it's in full swing. So I want it to be usable before that point. And the same is going to be said for this Hotshot build. I want it to be usable and strong before anything is procced, before anything is needed to be set up for it to work at its peak performance. And that would include a specialization weapon with ammo, because you're going to have that first before you can start taking advantage of that. And yes, I do agree with you. I'm just saying that for my preferred build construction, I want it to be good from the get-go without having any large prerequisites like that. So let's see what I got in my stash. I got all kinds of weapons, chat. Look at all my goodies. I've been collecting some really nice rolled stuff, and it's just been sitting in here. You know, weapons that I like, weapons that are hard to come by. Got a bunch of name stuff in here. Kind of give you a preview of all the stuff I've been hoarding. Look at all my MPXs. And I only have 100 of his 150 slots filled up. At some point, I'll do a purge and get rid of the less ideal ones. But I've got a lot of gold in here that I just haven't really tapped into. A lot of weapons that I kind of wish that they'd do a balancing pass on to make them more viable, especially like the LMGs. I'd love to use some of these, but they're not great. They're not great, but they could be. But in their current state, they're just not there. Lots of sniper rifles. I managed to grab a few DZ exclusive ones through named caches like Pinprick. Here's my CQBs. What do we have? There we go. So it's got the damage to targets out of cover on there. I've got 2 Optimist ones. So we're gonna take this one right here. Rich says, is there a talent that supplies you with an extra one? Every time is just curious. I was just thinking about that. So to my knowledge, no. To my knowledge, the only way that you would have your ammo, your specialization ammo provided to you quickly would be using like a tip of the spear build. Now, once we get our hands on Ninja Bike, maybe we can look into that. Although now that I think about it, you would have to have 4 pieces of tip before you start getting the ammo regen, so I don't think that would really work with this. I can quickly go to the bench and see if there are any talents that say
Agent, Pilot Torres
grants,
is cleared for transport to Kelly
specialization ammo or something, but I don't think there is.
Safe area detected.
It'd be nice if there was. That'd be a fun talent to add, honestly. So we'll just look at the rifles, talents. Breadbasket, Killer, Optimist, Preservation, Sadist, Vindictive, Ranger, Ignited, Reformation, Sledgehammer, Flatline, Boomerang. It's the one that I'd like to have on there, Lucky Shot. So I would say no. There isn't currently a talent that would grant specialization ammo or something. I'm just going to look under the marksman rifles. I think they're pretty similar between rifle and marksman. I don't think they have any other exclusive. Well, they have naked. That's kind of exclusive to the marksman rifles. First Blood's exclusive. But now that Determined is out, First Blood has officially become a useless talent. I mean, assuming that they get around to fixing Determined to the point where it actually works properly. But give me just a second, chat. I need to take a tinky. I'll be right back. All right. I made the bladder gladder. Let's see. Okay, I didn't miss anything in chat. All right, so now we're kind of on a mission to get a rifle to drop. Oh my god, excuse me. Almost died on my own saliva there for a second. We need to get a rifle to drop with that new talent on there. Let's see if we can find a interesting way of farming for it. Otherwise, I might have to go back into Countdown. Barf. Let's see if anything's going on in New York. Dodd's in the house, everyone. What a great for. In my defense, your timing was off, sir. I had had a couple cups of coffee before the start of my stream, and they had officially worked its way through my system. It's getting to the point of desperation. I had to take care of it. I know. Yeah, you're welcome for the bladder update. Okay, so it doesn't look like we're actually going to find a rifle out in the game world, so... Okay, look. I want all of you guys to put out some good vibes right now. All right? You know, send all the good vibes my way. Let's see if we can get this in one go. All right, because I do not want to mindlessly run Countdown over and over again. For the love of God. Let me switch back to my Fairview Wraith build. Register trademark. Kidding. And I just need one rifle. So, a rifle somewhere to drop. So, it honestly shouldn't be too hard to get, but I'd like to get it in the first run. Yes, coffee is liquids of the gods. 100%. I am fueled by coffee and hatred.
You have received an invite to another agent's group.
Okay,
You
not
are
hatred.
now in a group.
I'm not an angry person. Right. Timing off or timing on. It all depends on your point of view. All depends. All right, come on, RNGesus. Hook us up. Yay, somebody's paying attention. That is one of my triggers, is when the host, the countdown host, is just AFK. And we're all just sitting there looking at each other like, is he going to start? Oh, so annoying. Second biggest trigger is when people run skills on countdown. The damage dealing skills, not the healer skills or shields or whatever. The stuff that the hunters can take control of and then wipe your entire team with. Huge trigger for me.
Agent, outcasts have taken over the power plant. Lockdown procedures have been initiated. Last thing we need is a radioactive green poison.
Thanks, Dodd. Do you get the reference? Not very many people get the reference. It is actually one of my favorite shows.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15
You'll
minutes
get
lockdown.
you'll get points if anybody can get the origin of my name. I mean, you can't spend the points anywhere, but you'll get them.
System malfunctioning.
Maybe I'll make you a chat room moderator or something as a reward. I can't really send you money. But yes, if anybody can tell me where the name Orphan Crippler came from,
System
that is my full gamer tag. Of course, I shortened that to Orphan. I'm sure there will be those people out there that are deeply offended by my name, but
System
to them I tell them to get a sense of humor. Obviously, I don't go around crippling orphans. Just chill. I'm one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I'm not just saying that. Hey, Dodd's got it. Of course Dodd got it. Yes, Futurama. You got it. One of my favorite all-time shows. Heck yeah. That's a very, I don't think a lot of people recognize it because it's from a single episode. They never mention it again. Let's see. What we got? Shade crates, secure the area, and hack. Well, I guess I'll just follow the crowd here. It looks like we're going reactor. Stab, stab, stab. Yep.
Shade tech detected.
Futurama.
System breach initiated.
I don't know if you guys have like comfort shows that you watch when life isn't going according to plan, but Futurama is one of my top comfort shows that I'll watch when I've got the spicy sadness. My wife has tried to watch and enjoy Futurama, but she just can't do it. So I guess you kind of had to grow up with it, I guess, to fully appreciate it. I think most people would probably agree that Futurama is a little quirky of a show. It's definitely not everybody's cup of tea. Yep, you got it, Dodd. That's the exact scene. Yep, it was from. I'm trying to remember the name of the episode, but it's where they're basically like it's cartoons. They're like making fun of existing cartoons like G.I. Joe, some anime stuff like that. I can't remember the name of the episode exactly, but yeah, that's the episode. Orphan Crippler. I think Hermes' name was Waterboarder or something like that. Alright, where am I going here? I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to read chat and run around and farm for stuff at the same time. I need to keep reminding myself I'm looking for rifles with that talent, not just scrap everything I see. There we go.
Get him off me!
Get him off me! This chat is gold. Man, I am so blessed to have you guys in my chat. I'll tell you what. You guys have been great. Non-stop source of entertainment. You guys have some pretty fun conversations going.
Area secure.
We got a good group here. I'm very blessed. So thank you, seriously, everybody who's been participating while I get this whole streaming thing figured out. I'm very new to all this. I'm learning. Slowly, but I'm learning. Let's see. Dodd said, when I'm feeling down and lonely, I watch porn. For the story. Dodd, honestly, with the way Hollywood is these days, I would say some of the porn story is better than what anything Hollywood's cranking out. Not that I watch porn, because that's gross. What is porn? Chat, I do not advocate the viewing or use of pornography.
Agent, you've reached the lab. I need you to stabilize the reactor. You're in. Now, just need to find and destroy those fuel valves.
10 minutes.
Come on,
to lock
rifles.
down. Evacuate the facility.
Drop what I need so I don't have to do this again.
Oh
my God.
EMP system purge required.
Ease my suffering.
Warning. Experimental reactor unstable. Safety protocols activated.
I don't know how any of y'all did the floor 10 thing on Summit. I never even tried it because I watched a couple videos and I was just like, nope, I can't. I physically can't bring myself to do it. Just the mind-numbing tedium of it all.
Nice work on the valves. Now, I need you to expose the reactor's core.
Man, I'm missing some good chat. I'll have to catch up here in a second when I'm not trying to do something. I'm looking forward to the chat. You guys are hilarious.
Good. Now, you just need to destroy the magnetic core.
Are you guys dropping anything? Nope.
Incoming. High risk hostile. System reactivated.
Oh, and speaking of chat, I'm trying to work out the issue with YouTube where it's not saving the live chat replay on my videos. Apparently there's like 3 or 4 boxes I have to check. I've been troubleshooting it. I think I have it figured out, but we'll know after today's stream. Because, let's face it, the chat here is gold, and I would love future subscribers to be able to go in and see all that was said, because we're hilarious, frankly. Yeah, you're on fire. Boo-hoo. Hey, could you guys die a little quieter, please? Did anybody... This might be dating myself here, but did anybody remember the Jack Black skit? I think it was for some awards ceremony or something. He did a skit on Spider-Man. Anybody remember that part? And he's like going to the burning building, and there's a lady outside, and she's like, "Please help my baby, he's screaming." He's like, "Well, that's probably because he's on fire." I think of that. I think of that line all the time when I'm playing Division. Hey, we got it, chat. Look at that. Thank you for sending me all the vibes. We have done it. Best that it's not recorded. No.
Reactor offline.
No, I'm tired of this touchy-feely, don't offend anybody society we're living in. And this is nothing. Have you ever been into a Call of Duty lobby? They'll say stuff that'll make milk
Great work,
curdle.
Agent. The power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there.
This is tame.
Helo is ready when you are. Shoot a flare to signal Taurus.
We are hilarious, damn it. I stand by my statement. We're hilarious. Let's see, which direction? Is he all by himself? I better stick with him. Oh, no, he's got some teammates coming. Okay, if you guys want to go that way, I'm going to go this way. Because they like to circle. And we can't have that.
System disrupted.
Get on that helo. You've got hunters incoming.
An agent has gone offline.
Oh, we got 2 hunters that want to play. Alright,
System reactivated.
I'll play. Oh, what's the matter? Can't fight back? That's too bad.
An agent has disconnected.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I'll put him down. Fuck you.
Oh, language. Sir. Okay, alright, alright. Gonna back off a little bit here. I need to get rid of this thing here.
Shoot off
Go
the
away.
flares so Taurus knows you're ready to
No
go.
healing allowed. I'll help my teammates here. Come on, teammates. I just noticed that there's only 5 of us. 4 of us? That would explain why I don't see anybody. Come on, guys. Come on. Push. Don't be hanging out back there. Focus fire this hunter right here.
Serious trouble.
Oops, I foamed myself. Nope. Let's heal up. There we go. Yeah, let's get some fire nades going. Looks like we need a better distraction going here.
An agent needs assistance.
Whoop. I'm taking a ton of damage here. We're backing off a little bit. No. Oh, it wouldn't let me. I got stuck on the lights. That's okay. I don't care if I die. I got what I came for.
Agent down.
I'll just give up.
Neutralize
It's cool.
that hunter.
Alright, let me catch up on the chat here. I'm sure I'm missing some gold here.
Agent deceased.
Oh, I gotta scroll up. Let's see.
Rogue assault turret. detected.
Dodd, a few days doing some CC runs on Legendary
Agent down.
Mission. I foamed a
Neutralize that
dude
hunter.
and my sound bugged out at the exact
An
same
agent
time.
has gone offline.
All I heard was a very robotic voice. Some
Agent
might say
deceased.
Stephen Hawking-like.
A lot of
can't
people are
feel
gonna
my
lose
legs.
power. Without power and heat this winter, we're gonna
It's
lose
not
more
letting
people.
me
We
close
need to
and
get the
depart.
plant back online.
That's not great.
Agent down.
There it goes. Oh man, it's freaking out. I had to step away. Rich said, once you see one, you see them all. They're all the same. Basically, there's no real storylines. There's a big difference as long as you understand that. Yes. Daniel, I foamed a dude. Quote of the day. Dodd, floor 10 was easy. Meet up with the clanmates, grab some vodka, tell jokes that should not be repeated in public, and just mong out. Yeah, I don't have a group I regularly play with, so it wasn't really an option for me, but I get what you're saying. Excuse me. I had to disable my chat recording. Actually cannot remember how to do it. Oh, yeah, that is a problem. Rich said, skyscraper. I did it with a group. I was invited to help the group out. It wasn't intentionally done. They invited me quite a few times so that it helped them. I didn't mind. Convoys, rescue convoys. Yes. I definitely prefer the convoys to anything else. Let's see. Daniel says probably best that's not recorded. We're hilarious. Oh yeah, I saw those. Dodd says offense is never given, only taken. If something I say upsets you, look in the mirror before you look at me. There is the quote of the day, chat, right there. Quote of the day. Daniel says, I can't see you anyway. Hashtag internet reasons. If you weren't too busy playing Countdown, you could participate in this hilarious chat. Priorities. I know. But we're done now. We're done. Sliv Lux. I don't know how to pronounce your name. You got to help me out. I want to say hello to you, but I honestly I don't want to butcher your name. SLLV.
Please do not run outside the safe area.
If I'm reading that correctly.
Maybe misconstrued as a
And Chris, welcome to the chat. What system would love to run? Not sure what you're referring to. If you could clarify, I could answer your question better.
Incoming backup request.
Is it pronounced Salvice? Am I saying that correctly?
Nice to see you.
Sounds very German. I am of German heritage. Just in case anybody cares. Oops. Rifles. And we got ourselves a new talent. The talent that is apparently not working correctly. Hey, Dodd, now that you've joined the chat, maybe you could weigh in on this determined bug that's happening. When I first started my stream, it was working just fine. I switched to one of my other builds to kind of do a comparison, and then I switched back. I haven't been able to get it to work since. Do you know what's going on? We tried moving gear pieces around, weapons around, switching loadouts, logging out, logging back in. Nothing really seemed to make a difference. Salvice. I like it. Oh, Chris, what system do I play on? I am currently playing on the Xbox Series S. I was back when the Series X was harder to find than a unicorn. I would have preferred to get an X, but honestly, I've been very happy with my S. I see no reason to replace it. I don't really play on 4K anyways, and on a personal note, I don't really notice a visual difference between 4K and 1080p 60 frames, so yeah. My first time by the stream, would love to play sometime and learn some gear tips and just have fun. That sounds good, Chris. We'll definitely have to set something up on a later stream. I will, if you want to send me a friend request, I can accept that, and then next time I'm online, we can maybe set something up. At some point, I want to hop into the DZ. I haven't been in the DZ in forever, chat, let me tell you. I've had some very negative experiences playing the DZ, and I'm just not a big fan of my game triggering me, so I just avoid it altogether. But if I go in there with a group, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm kind of trying to get something together where I can go in with a 3-man or 4-man group and farm for the new exotics and get into some trouble. So, but we're gonna work on that. Let me see what else we have here. Rich, does your clan have PS5? No, this is currently just on Xbox. Dodd, had a friend data mine it. In short, the coding they have used is that of toddlers. That's cool. That's cool. The short version is that the talent is set to random. Well, that's not great. Because when the talent is working properly, it's amazing. And when it's not, it is underwhelming, to say the least. Oh, so I need to go grab the CQB I pulled from my mule earlier. Click, 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 click. I'm sure you guys can hear me clicking on this thing. I wish there was a better way to scroll. Where is my... I have too many things. Is it this one? Yeah. Wait, can I re-roll this one? I can. I don't even need this one. Okay, I'm going to mark that to go back to my mule. I can just re-roll this one. I'm not using this for anything, and it's already max roll, so perfect. We got it. We got it, we got it. Okay, let me put this on real quick. Let's put same mods I had on the other one. Reload speed, rounds, critical hit chance. Let's roll on the new talent.
Good to see you. You need to craft something?
Sync all the way to the bottom. Lots of clicks. Determined. Okay. Randomly determined. Yeah, what? Why is it random? That's stupid. So you're telling me that it is technically functioning as intended. It's just random whether it decides to work or not. Chris said, I will gladly do that. And yes, DZ has caught my interest given the exotics dropping now for sure. Would be fun for sure. Yes. Yes. And honestly, that's the only reason why I care to step into the DZ at this point. I would like some of the raid exclusives. I have never raided. I've watched lots of raid streams and stuff. It just doesn't seem like something I would enjoy all that much, I guess. So I've just avoided it. I know there's lots of LFG groups and stuff I could join if I really wanted to raid, but I'm content not playing it. Dodd says the thing is though, what people think of it as working properly is actually a bug. Oh. It should have to be alternating shots. Headshot, procs determined, next shot can be anywhere. You are then meant to have to get a headshot again. I would agree with that. It does seem like a bit of a cheese that you can just start the process with a single headshot and then just body shot until your heart's content. Rich, tip for you. DZ Exotics. When somebody has called for an extraction, go to the extraction point, fight them, get the loot self-evident, place a stinger hive under the rope. Okay. I used to teach people how to do the raids and take them through, but over a period of time, it becomes monotonous. Yes, and I think a lot of the LFG groups are kind of burned out at this point, because let's face it, we haven't had a new raid in forever and then some. So they've been around for a while. I know that GC Rock, he was doing raid carries for quite some time. I really enjoyed his streams, but I think he got burned out. I haven't seen him do one in a while. Understandably so. Love GC Rock's community, by the way. He's got a really good thing going over there for carries and all the help that he does. Let's see. It's not even... Hold on. Oh, there it is. Now it's showing up. Let's see. Daniel, so what can we test that? So, wait, sorry, I'm not reading that right. So, can we test that by testing that behavior now? Yeah, I'm going to set this to normal. Well, now it's working. You can hear that headshot sound getting procced. So, Dodd, you're saying this is supposed to be random? Is it random in the sense that once the cycle is reset, the next time could be the random, or is it random? I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Because, I mean, I'm getting a bunch of consecutive ones, but is it the first part of it being procced that's random versus the consecutive part of it that's random? If that makes any sense. I'm having a hard time articulating what I'm trying to get across. So, like, if I reset it, I'm going to reset it right now. So I'm going to switch off, switch back on. Okay, so now it's reset. Okay. So is the random part getting it to proc in the first place, or is the random part the shots that follow? Maybe that's a better explanation. Because as far as I can tell, once it's procced and it's doing its thing, it's pretty infinite as far as I can tell. But I mean, earlier we couldn't get to work at all. So I'm going to switch off, switch back on, see if I can reproc it. Well, it's up. Seems to be working just fine now. Well, fine in a buggy way, I guess. Rich, it's different in the open world. Plus, if you've got it on heroic, there is an issue. Okay. Well, it's definitely on heroic. I pretty much perpetually leave my game world on heroic. Getting it to proc in the first place is iffy. Okay. Well, we definitely experienced that earlier. But the subsequent shots after the second is the main bug. Third shot is bugged. Oh, so you're talking about the 4-piece headache talent, where the next headshot is 20%. Second headshot is that what you're talking about? Sorry if I'm not understanding you well here. No, okay, I'm missing something. We're still talking about this talent, right? The determined talent. Okay. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on an enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. Sounds like it's counting the headshot on the body as a headshot for the purposes of proving the talent. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the audio cue, so we've procced the headshot, and then when I shoot him in the body, it's going to make the same sound. Which, you know, it says the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So in that sense, it seems to be functioning correctly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But you have to start the process with a headshot, and then the following shots, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. And if you've got enough damage, then it'll kill them. Although, shouldn't it reset after the next shot? So it should be back and forth, like you were saying. You kill an enemy with a headshot, next shot counts as a headshot, but it doesn't say all subsequent headshots after the initial headshot will be a guaranteed headshot. So what the game is doing is it's considering every single shot always headshot, regardless of where you're shooting them. So it's just constantly reprocking determined. Did I get that right? Dodd says shoot body determined classes it as a headshot. Determined should now turn off. Proving equals procking. Gotcha. Okay, I understand it now. So what you're saying is it shouldn't be infinitely chaining next shots counting as an enemy, even if the next shot does kill the enemy. It still shouldn't be perpetually classifying the shots as headshots. All right, Dot, have fun. Thank you for dropping by and answering some questions. Have fun with your legendary speedruns. That sounds sweaty. Okay, so chat, if I'm understanding this correctly, where the bug lies is this determined isn't supposed to proc indefinitely. You are supposed to kind of go back and forth between the two. So, but what's happening is it's counting every shot following as a headshot if you have enough damage to kill the target, which we do with this setup. But I guess that's not functioning as intended. As far as why this works sometimes and then doesn't work at all other times, that's super weird. I mean, so far since we've been here in the firing range, it's worked just fine. No issues. Okay, so with determined proct, it's not enough to chain body shots with this particular rifle. But I would imagine with a sniper rifle, it does, infinitely more headshot damage, like the Covert SRS, with the same talent, and see if it'll work this time. Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of what we were aiming for, was that mechanic. So I don't think determined would be all that great on a rifle with this build. Simply because the only thing you'd really be able to chain effectively would be a bunch of red bars. Everything else, I mean, granted, it's not a useless talent. You get some benefit out of it. Get a little extra damage out of it, but I think I'd rather run something else on my secondary weapon. But as long as this is doing what it's supposed to be doing with determined, this is so strong. This setup right here with all this armor and all this stuff, this is great. Let's see, I'm missing some chat here. You have to prop the headshot first as long as you have got enough stacks, but the last stack doesn't come up in the field. Okay. Headshot once you're prompted to the max, then it will reset itself once you have used them, but it's the last stack that bugs out. That's the issue. Okay. Daniel says, yeah, that's correct. Headshot, determined, shot anywhere, and then, yeah, the process should repeat itself. So you should be forced to go back and forth between headshot and body shot, which is still valuable, but not nearly as fun as being able to just body everything into oblivion once you get it procced. Rich says, also, it's time coordinated, so once you get the stacks up, the next couple of shots will become headshots, but there is a time issue when it runs out, but you don't receive the last one issue. Okay. And we did learn something today. So I guess other questions about determined is, what kind of a timer is it on? Does anybody know if it's a 60-second timer, or as long as you're in combat, or anything like that? Like, how long do you have to use this stack? I guess there's an easy way to tell. Let's switch off, switch back on. Let's get a stack. And let's just sit here and see how long it takes, roughly. I'll break out a timer or something and actually physically time it, but I'm just curious, just eyeballing it, how long it stays up. It's still hanging out. Rich says, has a great dependency on the weapon, I think, in my opinion. Yes, I would agree with that. Definitely depends on the weapon. Yeah, it's really hanging out. This is like a memento amount of time on here. Yeah, I'm going to have to break out the stopwatch here and actually physically time it. But I was just curious if it was short or long, but it looks like it's definitely a very, very long proc. Because it is still going. Rich says you could probably time it, but a lot depends on the weapon. You're utilizing the same type of shot that you shoot on the body shot of the time and wear. Daniel says, yeah, Rich. Looks that way. I think Orphan was saying before, if the determined body shot damage is enough to kill them, then it procs the talent again. Yes. Yeah, that does seem to be how it functions. So you just need to have enough damage so that the subsequent shots do enough damage to kill your target. Rich is saying, unless it's waiting till you make the next shot, then diminishes. Yeah, I was just curious to see if it goes away at all. Like, say we're repositioning, we're moving around. We want to make sure that we get that shot, that perfect shot. How long do we have before the talent proc goes away? It's still up, so I'm actually beginning to think it is until combat ends. There's a quick way to test that. Combat has ended. It's still up, guys.
Agent requesting
It's
backup.
still there. I mean, now it's gone. So it doesn't ever go away? I mean, that was a long-ass time. This is a very fun talent, by the way. I mean, you guys saw that, right? I exited. Here, let's try something else. I'm going to fast travel somewhere and then fast travel back. Whoops. Let's see if it's still up. Well, you can see it right there. Talent's still active. We'll fast travel back. Next thing we'll test, we'll go to a safe house. That typically resets everything.
Here you go. Best beer in the city.
There's no way that talent's supposed to be doing that, though. That's some unusual behavior. Hey, check it out, chat. It's still there. Alright, now the big question is, will it reset as a safe house? Because, like I said, typically safe house resets everything, period. Bryant, you would think that they would actually have it in the tooltip, but there are certain talents that have a timer on them, or they say like, or they should say like, you have 60 seconds or something like that, but it's not actually in the flavor text. I know that Aces and Eights is a good example of that. There is a 60-second timer on the talent, but is listed nowhere. But it is there. I have tested it. Actually made a video on it. And yeah, usually the timer can be seen on the buff, but I'm looking at... Okay, so it's gone. Right now we're looking at the determined talent. Not this one. If that's what you're talking about. I could be misreading what you said, but we're seeing if anything disables determined. So far it doesn't seem to be disabled by anything. You can exit combat, enter combat, fast travel. Now going to a safe house seems to reset it, but that's pretty normal. Safe houses seem to reset everything. And there's no mention of a time in the flavor text. Daniel says, I feel like we've seen this pattern before where there's a talent that acts as another behavior. Does that behavior actually trigger talents and other things? Yeah, we have definitely seen this before. Hold on just a second, chat. Okay, we're good. Alright, so I'm going to take this out in the open world with the way it's set up right now. And just see how it does. I really want to test this, get this to work. I think for my secondary weapon, you know what? Let's run some Dr. Home just for shits. Because we can. We should be able to take on a resource convoy with a setup like this. So let's see if we can't get that to work. Let's see if we can catch up to this group. This might be a really bad idea, but we're going to try. Let's see if we can't just body shot everything into oblivion. There is a veteran among them, which is perfect. Now, they should be spawning from the door right here once I start killing them all. So let's... well, she's wearing a helmet. This might be a little tricky. Yeah, of course I missed. Kind of curious how this works with helmeted targets.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oops. So you saw how her helmet cracked and I wasn't aiming at her head? Whoop. Here, fixate on that.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Yeah, it breaks their helmet. So helmeted targets are going to be a bit of a problem with something like this. Yeah. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, so it works. Like I said, helmeted targets are a problem, though. But it counts as a headshot if you hit him in the bodies, because you saw that I was body shotting her and her helmet exploded, so that's interesting. Let's see if we can find a little easier target. The hyenas like to have their little helmeted guys, so... there's a legendary... Actually, that one might not be bad. Hit them in the body after the first headshot kill, though. Yes. Yeah, definitely works. That's definitely working, so... Just gonna have to pick our targets. I wonder if I can just shoot a red bar and that procs enough of Headhunter to kill the next target that I body. Do we have specialization ammo? Hey, look at that, we do. That's good. That'd be good for Headhunter purposes. What kind of composition do we have here? We do have... Let's see if I can get him to hold still. Go. Move. Ah, whatever. Sit down. Get in the way of my grand experiments.
A hostile control point detected.
We have too many helmeted people. It's annoying.
Your world. Die. Oh, Christ.
Now I should be able to hypothetically do a bunch of body shots at this point.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Ow, where? And it's gonna break her helmet. Yeah, we gotta figure out some way of dealing with these helmeted types, because that just completely resets the chain.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Show 'em who we are. That's it. That's it.
Damn, completely missed. We're gonna back up here. Hey, I just got your satchel. Why aren't you disoriented? These rushers are dumb. You guys are getting in the way of everything. Would you knock it off?
Let's hit 'em now. What's the name?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Rifle drive. We can't let them kill.
Please die. Okay. I can see part of her head. Oh, there she goes. Okay, now I should be able to body everything in sight. Come on. Minus those stupid helmeted guys. Where is this person? There you are.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Got her in the kneecap. All right, Rushy McRusherson. Calm down. Well, I would say it works quite well. Yeah, I'm going to go to a different
Hostile
area.
control point nearby.
I'm not going to mess around with this, the hyenas anymore. Don't much care for the helmeted types. Don't need any of that. Daniel, I guess with the helmeted NPCs, determined kind of works the way it's meant to. It does. Yeah, it breaks their helmet, for sure. So it is functioning as intended, I suppose. It's just, it breaks that body shot chain that you got going there. So we're going to need to switch. See if we can't get some outcast. Let's just take a checkpoint. Let's see how easy this is. And then after I take this checkpoint, I'm probably going to take a break, get some food in me. And I think I might be hopping on for some Destiny 2. I'm very excited to play some Lightfall. I haven't had a single chance yet. I want to check out all the new stuff. Today's going to be kind of a variety stream day. I think we set out everything we set out to accomplish in today's stream, so I'm very content with that. But let's final test. Let's make it a good one. Let's take this checkpoint and go from there. Gotta loot though. Man, at some point I gotta log in and finish up my Woni as well. I think I've got one more target before the final boss.
Fuck this. Light 'em up. I'll back you up. Together.
Beautiful. Yeah, a lot of Division players have never played Destiny. It was honestly before Division, Destiny was my main game. That was the game that I no-lifed, that I invested every free moment into. Still love the game, but I ended up taking a nearly 3-year break from it, and only recently picked it up again. Because they had just put out the Witch Queen campaign, and I heard a lot of good things about it. And then I heard about the Lightfall on the horizon, and that looked really interesting. and they'd streamlined a lot of stuff, added a lot of quality, like user interface changes, quality of life changes. Honestly, a lot of stuff that the player base has been asking for years, like loadouts, for example. And Bungie knows how to make a fun and pretty looking game. I'll give them that. All right, let's see. Who shall be our first victim? There's our first victim. I'm going to get a little closer here. Oh, that was not a headshot kill, so... Come on, I want to get this procced. Why is it not letting me look low? There we go. There we go. Now it shouldn't matter. Easy.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
All day long. Let's see if we can body shot the boss. Come on, come out from hiding. I say as I'm hiding. Come on, stick your head up. I want to test something. Bro. Gonna make me come and get you, aren't you? Come on, you coward. Well, I had to headshot him, but yeah, I would say that is fun. Talk about an efficient way of clearing a checkpoint. One shot, one kill, doesn't even matter where you shoot him. You could shoot him in the toe, and it would kill them. Rich says they did say that they wanted to balance it, so it didn't matter what you did in the game, you would get the same. This is exactly what they want, or trying to get that. Okay.
Reinforcements incoming. Detecting additional.
Oh, did I have the thing
hostile
procced already?
contacts.
This whole time? I didn't have to reproc it? Oh, it is already procced. Well, it would help if I could hit what I'm aiming for. Easy, easy, easy. This is too much fun. Just aim for the body. Anywhere on the body. That's just hilarious. Damn.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Get into it.
This is so broken. That's it. Full checkpoint. This is hella broken. Love it. I love me a good broken mechanic. I hope they don't fix it. I mean, I hope they fix the bugs that make it annoying, but leave the rest of it alone, like its functionality, what it's doing right now. Please don't take that away. Let's face it, the Division needs something like this, at least for a while. I poke out of my head. It's a reference. I don't get the reference. I'm sorry, Daniel. Rich, that's what video games are about. Fun. Absolutely. They're trying to introduce something which the community wants, but it's hard on a system that they haven't developed. Yeah, absolutely right. Games are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be triggering or infuriating or grindy. I think a lot of games these days, I think they're the most guilty of just being mindless grind fests where it's almost just a farming simulator. You know, and I know that Division has been guilty of that. I mean, even games like Destiny have been like that too, where it's just, you know, unless the activity you're doing has some built-in variety to it, it just becomes so tedious. And nobody wants to do that. That's typically about the time when people start leaving games. You know, if there's not enough content to keep them occupied, even if the content that's there is fun, it's just once you've done it 1,000 times, you know, it kind of loses its luster. Daniel, that's the unfortunate thing about how Ubi nerfs the game. Stuff that's too powerful in PvE gets nerfed like it's not fun or something. Like, who cares if we're having fun? Facts. Definitely facts. Family Guy Blue Harvest reference. Oh, man, I've seen Blue Harvest so many times. I didn't catch that. Rich, the gaming industry is changing, and the community and the developers had to change to meet the consumer demand. It's not all about money that comes along with it. Eventually they will get it right, but it takes time. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? All right, guys, I am starving. My stomach is making dying whale noises, so I'm going to go eat something, take a break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to play some Destiny. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it'd mean a lot to me if some of you would join me again for my follow-up streams. I promise it'll be fun. I'm going to be completely lost because I have I don't know exactly what the new changes are. I don't know what I'm walking into. I've been intentionally avoiding any Lightfall videos so I can experience the aspect of discovery. That's probably the 12th time I've said that just on this stream, that word. But discovery is very important to me. And that's the 13th time I've said it. Okay, last comment before I'm shutting this down. Daniel, the farming simulator problem is because they're trying to moderate the game. The more grindy it is, the more people are likely to spend real money. Yes. Greedy monetization is running rampant through the gaming community right now, for sure. Especially anything that's considered like a games as a service. That whole model has a lot of problems to it. But all right, thank you everybody again for joining the stream. It was a blast having you here. I am blessed to have this many people in my stream at once. This has been a lot of fun. I'll catch you all in the next one.